'Twould seem Malek's destiny with my blade was postponed. Perhaps Ariel could offer further guidance.
Hey folks, Keric here, and welcome back to this 8th part of the walkthrough for Blood Omen. In the last episode, we tried to fight Malek, conquered his bastion surely, but the bugger just wouldn't give it up. So it's time to head back towards that cheeky undead minx at the pillars to get some more information on where to go next. Kind of hard to believe these graphics were cutting edge at the time. Do you have to remember PlayStation hadn't actually been released that long whenever this game first came out. And it's also worth noting the trees are nicer than those in World of Warcraft, even with those restrictions. So anyway, back at the pillars, and we'll have a little bit of a cutscene with Ariel.
Ah, the Lord returns empty-handed. Does the Seraphim elude you? Very well, go east of Malek's bastion. The Oracle shall give you aid.
If she'd had an S on the end of that sentence, it would have had an entirely different message. Not that AIDS is ever to be laughed about, or joked about, or any of those. It is a nasty thing. So that would have kind of been funny. Sorry. Anyway, now we have the axes, we can finally cut down trees. Yay. Even though the axes are kind of pathetic as a item. You get interrupted an awful lot. And as you can tell, they kill stuff kind of too easily. I know that's sort of what you want in a hack and slash, but the problem is that with his health bar being so dependent on you drinking blood, they kind of screw things over for you a little bit. And they're just too slow in terms of swing speed to actually get
The heart of
any kind of a stun going down, as you can see. I think they're probably one of my least favourite weapons in the game. I much prefer things like the sword or even the mace really, but the mace doesn't work fantastically well in terms of actually killing things. Sword gives you a nice balance. I think one of the nice things about it is they've actually put pros and cons for each weapon. So you do have to think about which weapon you're equipping. Certain ones make it easier for you to drain blood, so keep your health up. Certain ones make it a lot easier for you to kill.
High upon the face of these cliffs, hidden amongst the complex network of caves, the underground sanctity of the wise Oracle of Nosgoth lay sleeping. Perhaps it was time to brave the winds and seek out this oracle from the vantage point of the heavens.
And that little marker, of course, enables us to travel up to the oracle's cave system in bat form, which we'll do. There we go, another cutscene. Yet more fantastic graphics. And up we go. And we're gonna crash. Oh, there was a cave there. Phew. Bats obviously have better eyesight than I have. And straight into the mystic crystals. I have a confession to make. At this point I kind of mess things up fairly badly in that I somehow managed to forget the fact that I have a mace for breaking down pillars and stones and things like that. I'm thinking to myself that those two columns just directly above where I am now are made of ice or something, and that I might need to find some form of fire to get through them. Not once realising that I can just use the flippin' mace that I have equipped to break my way through. So I have a little bit of a look through. I'm thinking, well, I got the axes quite recently. Maybe they'll cut it down. Maybe this is a switch. No. Will they cut it down? No, they will not, folks. The mace I had equipped originally is the actual item which will do the job. Unfortunately, I don't realise this. And so decide to head back to the previous bat point and make my way up through the caves. I'm sure there are a couple of items anyway, so it's not such a bad idea. Anyway, I mess about for a little bit here and then finally get fed up. And eventually go outside. We'll just skip to that. And fly to the previous bat point just outside Malik's Bastion. The one which we started the video on. Yeah, we've come full circle. But there are some abilities we can pick up. There are also a few kind of cutscenes and things, so it's sort of worth doing. It's so much easier to keep your health up with the sword. If you don't let them shoot you, that is. I really don't like those knife throwers. Give me all your blood. It's quite funny, I've started to main as Vladimir in League of Legends. So a lot of this kind of blood sucking and stuff is actually doubling up for me. Gives me a good excuse to put lots of I suck jokes in.
Oh, little vampire, the game grows interesting. But with so many pawns, can you find the true player?
There's mystery and mayhem afoot, folks. Like I couldn't have told. Anyway, make your way across the ice. Not this way, there's nothing over there. And as you make your way across, you see the caves. Well, the ground level of the caves start to appear. Not really fussed about going in the far side. Just go in here. And as you can tell, there's a new ability to be had, so not such a bad idea to make your way through here. I'm sure you pretty much know the form for these dungeony type places by now. Pretty much the same for the whole game, just hack and slash your way through. Try and keep our health up as best we can. Let them fight among themselves, really. I'm not that bothered that I actually want to have to kill them all. I'll drink the blood though, obviously. I mean, why let it go to waste? Flick the switches. Yeah, second time lucky. Through the door. And new ability.
The human mind is a fragile thing. One minor shock properly timed can render them catatonic and ripe for feeding.
This spell's quite nice actually. It stuns them and allows you to feed straight away. As you can see. which is pretty cool, especially if you're low on health. It's kind of like an instant health boost. Don't have to fight, don't have to get close, just drain. Oops. That's better. I was supposed to stun and it didn't work. Oh well. The nice thing about it is it's ranged as well. So obviously you don't even have to go near anything. Oh, stop it. 4 guys in here, of course, triggering the door. You can hear the locks unlocking. I'm not quite sure how you manage to get a lock linked into a person's life-death status, but they've managed it in Nosgoth. You get more of these. I don't know what they are, whether this, I suppose they're supposed to be gypsies or something, but they look like kind of weird pirates. Some kind of elastic cutlass. Yeah, the stun only seems to work on one at a time, which is interesting. You'd think you'd be able to cast it on more than one, but it does seem to toggle. Not quite sure why, but hey. Considering the age of the game, we'll live with it. And I managed to totally waste one of them there. We'll have to dive in this time. Not too much of a problem, thankfully. And the teleporter takes us back out to the start of the dungeon. And I think at this point we'll have a quick save. Okay, that done. Can make our way back outside again. And carry on with the story. It does seem to be a gypsy camp here, so considering I got the mask in one earlier, I decided to have a little bit of a look. Not entirely sure there is anything important in here at all. However, it's always nice to rifle through other people's possessions, so hey, why not? Trying to head in towards that cave in case it leads up through the mountain. It does certainly look that way. My god, there are a lot of caves around here. So we best get at it, I guess. Not gonna do us any favours waiting around. More hacky slashy nonsense as we go. Considering how little I like fighting those guys with the extendable swords and stuff, that spell actually comes in quite handy. Yeah, shut up and give me your blood, chubby little git. It's like Iceland for vampires. Frozen food all around. Yeah, you can shut up. I love the way you drain him of all his blood, and whenever he falls down dead, a huge big pool of blood erupts from him. That makes sense. Oh. Little bit of an emulator problem there, sorry about that. Such a shame that the capture card I have won't do SD signals. I get a blank screen. So despite owning the game and console, I can't actually play the thing. Hence the emulator woes. Oh well. Just making my way through the caves in case there's anything story related or pickup wise that we can have. Really, the aim is to make your way up towards the top and have a conversation with the Oracle. But it's kind of worth exploring a little bit as well. That last spell we found was rather good, so I like the idea of finding more stuff.
The blood of ages flows so sweet. Come, drink from us. The snow will do you no harm, for our blood preserves.
There we go, I would have missed that as well. Now we can walk in snow without burning our feet, so it's wonderful. Protection from rain and snow. Sounds like some kind of a bloody varnish. Occult varnish. Protect your vampire from rain and snow. Oh no, 2 caves. It's a bit we're going the wrong one. Oh, bloody hell. Vicious little thing. Fortunately, you can't drink the blood of them. I do quite like the frozen gargoyle type things. It's quite a nice image. Try and skip a lot of this stuff if we can, really. I'm not desperate to pick it all up. Oh yeah, can one hit them now? What happened to it earlier? And again we'll have a quick save and carry on with our journey. And walk into a slime. You know it's bad whenever you watch your own playbacks back to commentate on them and you spend most of your time thinking, why am I playing like a fucking dick? And we're back to the original cave again. I think one of the problems with the setup I have here is I can't record too late at night. With neighbours and family and stuff. Which means I tend to play the games quite late at night and then do the recording during the day when I can actually do it. It allows me to do quite a lot of video ahead of time and not a lot of audio. And there we go. After all that fuffing about, I finally realised I can break the damn things down with the very weapon that was designed to do it. I think the main problem is I've played the game before, so I know that there's a flaming sword to come up. Not particularly soon, but before too long anyway. And I'm kind of thinking to myself at the time that if they are ice pillars, then maybe the flaming sword's the thing to break your way through. Of course, not realising that the damn mace just does it. Such an awful feeling, watching yourself making a dick of yourself. Anyway, just make our way through these caves. We're in the part we're supposed to be in now, on the way to the Oracle, rather than being diverted. And it's always a bad thing whenever you realise that you can get pickups from breakables. I like to think of it as Zelda grass syndrome. You keep hacking at the grass, hoping beyond hope that you're going to find a whole load of rupees, but you never do. Doesn't stop you hacking at the grass though. Oh, don't. Knock me onto those bloody spikes. Yeah, the arrows aren't too bad. Mainly that spitty guy. Oh, balls to you. At least we can finally pick this up now. We need it. I'm not quite sure where that crystal has got the glow around it. It generally means there's a switch. Oh, nice, Heart of Darkness. Bollocks. And some kind of weird albino bear cave monkey thing with green blood. Wow. Can't even drink the bloody stuff. It's Malek's Bastion all over again. Going to be a dry night. I really wish I had a hell of a lot more magic than I do. It's so much faster killing stuff with magic than it is with your own fists. Especially these monstrosities. A bosom octopus and a cave monkey. It's like a Noah's Ark in this place. Ah, that looks switchy. No, don't hit me. I don't like it when you hit me. Which leads us back to the original entrance to the cave. And yeah, thankfully, we can move on a bit. Can't remember whether there was anything of that much importance inside this cave. I'm fairly sure there wasn't. I think it's pretty much just one of those get to the end, see the oracle, do what he tells you kind of things. There is a hell of a lot of dodging to do. And a hell of a lot of weird creatures to kill as well. Mind you, I shouldn't comment on weird creatures. I am playing a vampire after all. And considering some of the stuff we've seen before and I'm sure we'll see again. A couple of cave monkeys and some octopus guys with big boobs are the least of my worries. Another switch there, just flick that. Should hopefully give us access to a little bit further into the cave. There we go. That looks like some kind of a warm light. It's quite funny how the light doesn't continue on the other side of the door. It only shines outwards. I think you can see quite happily now what I mean about some breakables. Oh no, can't break it with magic. Spending more time killing those than I on the spending more time destroying the breakables than I am actually killing stuff. Mainly because it's more fun. Unfortunately, the combat in this game can get very, very repetitive. I wish I could think up a way of making it go a little bit faster. I'm sure it's not entirely entertaining. The real problem is that the later games in the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver series are just so much better than the earlier ones, but the story kind of requires that you play through them. So what I don't want to do is just jump ahead to the stuff I actually want to play and leave out the whole storyline. It just feels a bit wrong, really. I'd rather give the complete picture. Plus the fact it wouldn't be too much fun if I just rushed through and finished off the final lot. It's always a little bit more fun seeing kind of arc of a series. How the story begins, how it progresses, how the whole thing shapes out over the years. And it's also nice seeing the basic graphics in the first one kind of being transformed into proper 3D hack and slash kind of combat games. Also the evolution of the puzzles. So yeah, there's quite a few reasons for carrying on with it. That plus the simple fact that I've started so I damn well I'm going to finish. Anyway, we're quite a way through the cave at the moment. Thankfully. Bloody Oracle's quite an elusive fella. Oh shit. Purple cave monkey. Wow. No, no! Now I'm out of mana, wonderful. I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Trying desperately to fire off one more spell. Just so annoying fighting. I think they're actually supposed to be werewolves. It does look a bit similar to my werewolf. It does look a little bit similar to my werewolf form. I'm gonna have to change weapons.
Iron sword.
Yeah, we know what it is. The mace just seems to do a little bit less damage, so we'll have to take out the sword and deal with a little shit. There we go. And since we've actually flicked the switch, we should have a door to go through. Yeah. Welcoming glow. I think in some kind of really obvious way, the glow from the crystals is purely because the crystal. And I've just realised that. Oh god, not more of these little shits. Oh come on, let's be having you. I need more mana. Just plain do not like them. Come on, there we go. No, not another one. Gonna have to use some items. There we go. I'll shut you up for a minute. It's absolutely packed with the purple cave trolls. It's like some kind of a Swedish kid's story. Trolls everywhere in those. Under bridges, under beds. Anywhere you can think of, really. That wonderful moment in the commentary when you've just kind of analysed what you've just said and realise you've reached the point where you're rambling. Yeah, I probably reached the rambling stage about half an hour ago. I can't. Anyway, carry on with the breakables. The most fun part of being in a cave is destroying all the natural structures. Oh. Oh. Right in the back. We'll just get mana power up so you can saw it off. 6 shots, bloody hell. Use up nearly one of those rune things that makes up the mana bar. That's a hell of a lot. Okay, these caves are starting to get really quite annoying now. What the fuck is that? It's a naked cave monkey with spikes on it. So many cave monkeys, so little time. Oh, we're back to the purple ones again, wonderful. At least we have enough mana to take care of them. Okay, this is looking a bit more promising. That's the cave where we entered not too long ago, and if it's blocked off, that means we have a new pathway. Always good to know. Go on, Baldy. Problem is, if they have green blood, we can't drink it, so there's not a huge amount of point in fighting them. I don't mind laying into stuff with a weapon if there's going to be blood at the end to keep me topped up, but whenever there's not, it seems like a very pointless exercise. It's like a great big ice cube filled with deadly weaponry. And there we go. This looks promising. Another save. And on we go. I'm guessing we must be close now if they have a save. Yeah, definitely.
Odd. This armor resembled that of the ward and his minions, yet the steel seemed newly fashioned and untarnished by time. Hidden amidst the many obscure artifacts in that museum, I discovered an ancient chronicle. This passage caught my eye. It was during these dark times, infested with the plague of the undead, that the Circle brought the Seraphan to existence. Trained to be devoutly loyal to the Circle and the perfect exterminators of the undead scourge, they were led to many victories by the righteous paladin, Malik. They cleansed the vampires with fire and released their souls to more blessed realms. There is no wrath as terrible as that of the righteous. I'd read enough. At once, disgusted and intrigued, I placed the book back down in that museum. A guillotine, its blade still wet with blood. The shield was newly crafted. Its metal shone brightly in the firelight. The crest I did not recognize. I recognize this crest from my youth. 'Tis the sigil of the mighty lion of Willendorf, blood-stained and rusted upon this battered shield.
A nobleman, seeking wisdom. Death has taught you well.
Enough philosophy. I seek answers.
Answers indeed. I have them all if you have the questions. And what are the questions for these answers? King Atmar, the only hope to defeat the legions of the Nemesis. King Atmar, paralyzed by his princess's malaise. King Atmar, the useless. Pray, good sir, what are the questions?
A pox upon your tricks and babble, old man. Answer me this. Who is Malik, and how can I defeat him?
All in time, Sirrah. Yes, time. Unless you master it, it will master you. And now it's time for your answer. Malik, defender of the Nine, and last of the Seraphim sorcerer priests. His vanity led to the slaughter of the Circle at the hands of the vampire Vorador. For his failing, his spirit was fused to a hellish set of magical armor. He has allowed no member of the Circle to fall since.
What of this Vorador?
Follow the glow of the Ignis Fatuous to the Termagant Forest.
Ignis Fatuous?
The Ignis Fatuous lights the path to hell, nobleman. Your path. Time, Kain? Next time.
If you hadn't guessed already, by all the references to time and by the weird little museum outside, that was Mobius the Time Streamer.
Through this magic I can stop my enemies in their tracks. Frozen in time, they can do nothing to hinder their own doom. Sometimes I draw out their fate, for the added fear sweetens their blood.
It's also worth remembering the room in which we met Mobius. It does pop up a couple of times in the game, so you will recognise it as we go through each one. But for now, we have the great joy of making our way back down the mountain. Which hopefully will be a lot easier to do. Still can't move those big rocks. Oh well, no big loss this early in the game. We will be able to at some point. Not really worth having a save. We did save just before that cutscene, so not that really that big a problem. What are you doing, you little creature? Tubby little thing. So yeah, that's us down from the mountain. We've now met the Oracle, or Mobius as really he should be called. And that's a pretty good point to cut off the video. I've been Keric the Pally. This has been Blood Omen. You have a good evening now.